Valdosta State NBA fans? This is Jordan, and this is your first episode of Hoops with Jordan. Thank you all very much for taking a chance to listen to my podcast. I know a lot of people want to talk about or listen to what people have to say about the NBA and about everything that's going on, and that's what I'm going to be here for y'all to do. This is the very first episode of Hoops with Jordan, and I hope that y'all plan on tuning in the future for more episodes. So the focus for this episode is going to be injuries that have derailed the NBA season. There's been a whole lot of injuries going on this year, and a whole lot of teams have been affected from it. So I'm going to just jump right into it and go back into last season. The Western Conference semifinals, it was probably the Western Conference Finals when the Spurs played against the Warriors. Kawhi Leonard has been hurt ever since then. He hurt his ankle in that series, landing on Zaza Pachulia's foot. And then he had to deal with the quad injury going through the summer, and nobody really knew when he was going to come back. He's still being affected by this quad injury. He's only played about 10, 15 games this year. But, of course, as they always do, the Spurs are still number 3 seed in the West. Coach Popovich always keeps his team on track. And no matter who's playing, no matter what name is out there on the floor, they're going to do what they need to do to get a win. That was just the first person I wanted to touch on because, he's been hurt for a while. But one of the biggest injuries that happened this year was actually on opening night. Gordon Hayward, first game playing for the Boston Celtics. Very excited, a lot of emotion going on in the room, and maybe 3 minutes into the first quarter, he goes up for a lob to try to catch the ball and breaks his leg. It was one of the most gruesome injuries that anyone has ever seen before, and it's seeming like it's going to sideline him for the entire season. We're about halfway through the season right now, and the Celtics did good without him. He averaged 22 points, close to 22, 21.9 points a game last year, playing for the Utah Jazz before he signed with the Celtics. And crazy enough, that even with Gordon's injury, the Celtics have still been doing very well. They were the number 1 seed in the East for a good amount of the beginning of the season. They just recently dropped to number 2. They're still just a half a game behind the Raptors for number 1. But they were playing so well that people were even questioning if they could still go to the finals this year without Gordon Hayward, due to the fact of how bad the Cavs have been playing this year. But, they've made the trades and tried to fix that team around. But just imagine if Gordon Hayward was healthy, going along with those young boys, going along with Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Terry Rozier, with Kyrie. It would have been something special. They really could have given everybody in the East a run for their money to get to the finals. The next person I want to go in and talk about a little bit is one of my favorite players, DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie Cousins. He started off this season. He was doing real good. This year he's averaging 25 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. Him paired up with Anthony Davis was one of the most unstoppable duos in the game today. It was just so unique and rare if you would ever see something like this. You got 2 7-footers who can handle the ball, shoot the ball, post up, pass, run the floor. It was crazy. And about 2 weeks ago, tore his Achilles, and that's going to sideline him for the remainder of the season. The Pelicans were doing good. They were on their way to going to the playoffs for the first time, and it's easily been about 8 years, first time going to the playoffs in 8 years. They're at the 8th seed right now, but they're still trying to stay afloat. Anthony Davis still is a MVP caliber player, but it was just having DeMarcus Cousins there for like a Batman and Robin thing. It was something special there. They would have caused a lot of damage in the playoffs. That's a team that nobody wanted to see because you did not have an answer for those 2 Twin Towers down there. So hopefully, you get back right soon, Boogie, because, the NBA is going to miss you. Next, I'm going to go to another big man who just recently got hurt about a week and a half or 2 ago, Kristaps Porzingis for the New York Knicks. And it was sad because this is his first year without Melo, his first year being the number 1 option and everything. And for him to tear his ACL off of a good play, too, they were playing against the Bucks. He dunked on a Greek Freak and landed awkwardly, came down, and immediately grabbed his knee. He was doing good this year, too. He's 22.7 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 2 blocks. he had been named to an All-Star. I didn't even say the other one. Boogie Cousins, he was also named an All-Star this year. 2 All-Stars getting hurt in the middle of the season, sidelining them for the rest of the year and the beginning of next season. That's really going to hurt the Knicks because they were in a rebuilding stage, and he was their centerpiece for that. He was their new superstar, and now they're going to have to keep on trying to stay afloat. Trying to increase their wins because they haven't been winning very much in the last few years, as y'all can see. But hopefully, he gets back healthy soon. He was a great player. 7'3", another one of those. So they call him the unicorn. 7'3", could shoot, could handle, was very athletic, block shots. Like I said, he was an all-star. He was a really good player. Hopefully the knee injury and the surgery won't sideline him too long. Next, the next person I want to go to, he's on my favorite team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Andre Robertson. He's not an all-star player. He's not somebody who's going to wow you with his offensive skills. He's not somebody who you just feel like you just need to see him play. But he was very, very detrimental to that team. The defense that he played, the role that he played for that team every night, he was the glue man. Kept everything going the line, going afloat. His defense helped everybody else play their proper positions for defense, so it allowed our team defense to be rated in the top 3 in the whole NBA. And he also tore his ACL. You can see the direct effect of his injury. As soon as he got hurt, OKC lost 4 games straight. They were giving up about 120 points a game, and that's something that Andre Robertson kept down. He was a great team defender, a great individual defender, and we are definitely going to miss him. Of course, I couldn't get to all the injuries in the NBA because people get nicked up every day, but these are just some of the most detrimental injuries and season-ending injuries that have happened this season. Hopefully these teams still do well. Hopefully all these players get healthy and come back good. I want to thank all y'all for listening to that first episode, and I will see y'all again next week.